Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick. I'm going to be your dive guide today. Let's go ahead and get started with our briefing. Let me start real quickly by telling you a little bit about myself. I've been diving now for a couple years pretty extensively, so I'm excited to be here to be able to guide you guys all out into the quarry, here at Fantasy Lake Adventure Park. For those of you who don't know, this was originally a stone quarry, which is really cool for us. One of my favorite things is the rock crusher still being out in the water that we can go and explore. That rock crusher actually hit a natural spring, I think more than once, and eventually it just got to the point they couldn't pump all that water out. So it was abandoned around the 1950s, which gave us this great opportunity and place to go dive. Uh, our water temperature today is around 50 degrees. It's a little chilly, so hopefully you came prepared. Our visibility today is pretty good, looking like about 15 to 20 feet. Our overall dive plan as we go out today, we're just going to be heading out on this first dive, making our way out to the bus. From the bus, we're going to move out to a couple of abandoned cars. From the abandoned cars, we're going to make our way over to that rock crusher. Hopefully, visibility permitting, we're going to get to be able to take a really good look at it. And then we're going to make our way back and come back to our entry and exit points. Hopefully today, while we're out there, we normally get to see some really cool things around some of these objects like bass, little brim, maybe some, if you're really lucky, a freshwater turtle encounter. Again, that entry and exit point for today is going to be right here. To our left, we are at dock number 1, and we're going to be entering and exiting the water in the same place. Things I want you to think about, though, when you're getting in and out. First and foremost, hold those fins in your hand when you're getting in the water. Be careful. It is going to be a little slippery down there. You do have to think and be careful about the rocks. They do shift getting in and out of the water. So just be careful when you're making your entry and exits out of the water. And if at any time, if any of you need help, just let me know. I'm more than happy to lend an arm or a shoulder to make sure you're able to safely enter and exit the water. Our maximum depth today, we're going to be no more than 30-40 feet max depth. Our overall dive time for today, we're going to be looking at about a 50-minute total dive time. So keep that in mind as we go out. When it comes to gas supply, we are going to be looking at half air today at 1900 psi, and our bottom, the lowest when we want to be ascending out of the water, is going to be 800 psi. Some things that I want you to note, we're going to be checking, and I'm going to be checking that air throughout our dive. So I'm going to be looking at you, asking for what air you have. So make sure you give me, if it's 1500 psi, 2000 psi, 2100, 600, 700, 800, 900. Again, tell me where you're at, and know that we're going to turn when we hit that 1900, hopefully right around that rock crusher, and we're going to reverse our way and come on back out. This is just going to be a fun, exciting, recreational dive. Not really a wreck dive, but we are, of course, going to get to see some cool objects. Things that I want you to take into consideration on this dive is, as we're making our way to things like the bus, you're going to see these yellow lines that we're going to be following. At all times, I want you to stay above those yellow lines. Do not go underneath them where you could get entangled. Also, watching your buoyancy throughout this dive so that you're not getting too shallow and hitting the bottom with your fins, stirring up that silt, which of course is going to make for bad visibility for everyone. Also, a big important one is to know that this is going to be a no penetration dive. So as we make our way to things like that bus where you could potentially go through it, we're not going to be going through those objects. We're not going to be penetrating them. So know that as we go out. I am going to be your guide, so I am going to be in the front of everyone. I want our teams to be staying at all times. I'm going to be giving you assignments in a second. I want you to stay at all times on both sides of me and behind me. At times I may tell you, hey, you need to come in a little closer to me, things like that, or make sure you're buddying up. So keep that in mind. So quickly, let's just review some of those hand signals. I think everyone knows the OK signal. We are going to descend and we're going to be coming up and ascending, things like that. Also, some big ones for me are going to be that on our way out, I'm going to be giving you a 3-minute safety stop. Also, if you are low on air or if you have half air, one of the biggies, of course, that we never want to see, but if you are out of air, make sure you give us a big out of air signal to your buddies so that they can assist you immediately. Again, for those buddy teams that I mentioned I was going to assign today, our father and son, the two of you are going to be our buddy team number 1, and our 1 and 2 over here, the two of you are going to be buddy team number 2. Again, I am going to be the guide for our dive today. If we do happen to have a lost buddy procedure that is needed, if you are that lost buddy, first and foremost, I need you to just stop right where you're at. Take a good look up, take a good look down, look all the way 360 around you. A lot of times your dive buddy may just be above or below you or close by. But if you do not see that buddy, I just need you to be mindful of the time and just wait 1 minute. 1 minute only before you start slowly and safely making your way back to the surface. If we have been diving long enough and deep enough, you need to make sure you still take that 3-minute safety stop if possible. When you get to the surface, be sure to inflate your BC. And I want you to wait right there. Absolutely do not leave the water. Do not go to the shore to get a drink. Don't go to the bathroom, because the rest of us are going to be doing the exact same thing, making our way up to find you and make sure that everything's okay. If it is, we're going to all gather together, get back together and go back down and finish our dive. So keep that in mind. If at any time you hear me giving you 3 audible clicks, it's because I'm trying to get your attention and recall you. I will tell you to come in and I'll be giving you instructions. I may bang 3 times on my tank as well, or I may even throw on the beacon on my flashlight to get everyone's attention. So be aware of that. If we have an actual real emergency situation and we have to surface, if there happens to be someone at shore that we can yell to and tell them to start calling 911, by all means, we're going to do that. But if we have to tow our buddy out of the water and get them safely to shore, the things I need you to know is if I am there, I am going to be assigning. I'm going to assign one person first and foremost to start calling 911 immediately. And then I'm also going to send a second person and assign them to go up to the gate to alert staff what's going on and to make sure that we can guide that ambulance safely and quickly to us. Other things right here to my right is going to be my blue bag. If everyone could just take a second to take a note of that. In that bag is going to be my personal cell phone. It is unlocked. You will be able to call 911 with it. Beside that is going to be the white box is going to be our first aid kit if we need a first aid kit, and also to the right of that is going to be our green box that you see right there, which is our functional oxygen supply kit. So that's pretty much everything. If anybody has any questions, please let me know now. If not, let's get geared up and go explore the quarry and have some fun.